Good evening, card community. It is RJ, and it is time for the Sunday trivia recap. You know what? It's just too late in the day to do silly cheer stuff, so I'm just going to get right in it today. Had a very busy weekend. Didn't wake up very early because of that, so I'm just ready to get into it without all the fanfare. Fanfare? Okay. So, 3 great trivia questions last week, 3 great prizes to give away tonight. So, Monday's question was, and all the questions, if you recall, came off of a magazine or a newsletter I showed off, the Mega Cards Collector Club's newsletter. There were 3 questions there, and I repeated one per day on my trivia days. First one on Monday. Who was the youngest manager of a World Series championship team? That individual was Bucky Harris, who was 27 as player manager of the Washington Senators in 1924. Excuse me, I'm sneezing here. Ugh. And so 1924, he had been with the Senators since about 1919. A little bit of standout here about him. And second baseman, very smart person, smart player, and Clark Griffith, manager or owner of the Washington Senators, realized his potential as a great manager, and he was a great manager, went on to manage many other teams during his career, including the Yankees and the Phillies at one time. But there's his managerial record on the back again. 21 games in the World Series, won 11 of them, lost 10 of them. Don't know where it says where he had championships, but I know he did win a championship with the Senators in 24, and then again with the 47 Yankees. He was their manager. So he was quite the manager and is in the Hall of Fame, by the by. So the prize for getting that answer, or setting me an answer for that, was a Marlins rookie and a Marlins Gold Star pack from 2022. If you recall, the reason I'm doing these are because the Marlins was the team that the Phillies took down to defeat in the first round of the playoffs this year. So everybody on this board was kind enough to send out a guess to the question. I will scroll down so you can see your name was on here. And again, I'm a one-man show here, people. So if you don't find your name here, then I just missed it. I apologize for that. But you know, I'm giving things away for free here, so people should give me a little bit of wiggle room on mistakes on that one. So anyway, we will shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times on my channel to win. I do that to draw a little bit of the suspense and a little bit of the excitement, share the wealth, give everybody a chance. So here we go. Good luck. A lot of cool things to show off this week. I happen to plan it very well. I have 3 big days worth of videos to show off for you, and they're so big I had to splice everything together. I couldn't do it. I can't do any of these in one large stream. I had to take some time to splice everything together. Day 1, Monday, will be a fun day because I got my box of 2023 Topps Update. I always buy a hobby jumbo box when I buy cards. The reason being, I like to get the whole sets. So typically, I shan't give you too much. I'll have to come back on Monday and watch the video to know how it went. Typically, you will get the whole set. The collation in a hobby jumbo box is such that I will typically pull out an entire set or series, depending on if it's the update or the standard Topps cards. So that's why I will do that. Plus, after it always comes, a hobby jumbo box always comes with at least 1 auto and 2 relic cards. So you'll have to come back on Monday and find what I was able to pull out of that box, and find also whether or not I was able to pull 1, or on average maybe more or less or something like that, to see what the relics were and to see if I actually got a full set. So that is on Monday. Just give you a heads up. On Tuesday, I'm loving this. Everybody's getting involved, and there's a lot of people. I had 13 people enter, and almost every person's got at least one hit. I had said last week when I was doing my trivia recap for last week, I noted that everybody had gotten at least one hit, and I was almost to the point where everybody got 2 hits, which would have meant that the final spin would have been the one to find the winner. Anyway, there's 3 for Jeremy Michaels. That was 3 for Jeremy Michaels. So congrats to you, sir. You will be getting a J.J. Bleday rookie card, member of the Marlins, and an entire 2022 Gold Star Parallel Team Pack. Congrats to you, sir. We are moving on to Wednesday. So that was Jeremy Michaels. Jeremy Michael is out. You cannot win but once per week on my channel. So Jeremy Michaels, you are out, but I do like to leave your name up there to let everybody know you also were kind enough to throw out a guess. So with Wednesday's question, again, the second question off of that Mega Cards newsletter trivia question, I said Ted Williams once pitched 2 innings in a baseball game. He actually pitched 2 innings in a Major League Baseball game. I'm sure it was late in the season, and they were either way ahead or way behind. And he actually struck out a batter. And I said, who was the unlucky batter who actually succumbed to Ted Williams pitching him in a strikeout? The answer, Rudy York of the Detroit Tigers. This is his Topps Woolworths card out of the 1985 set, or the 1987 Boardwalk set, if you saw that video from a couple weeks ago. Same exact card. So Rudy York was the one who succumbed to Ted Williams pitching him a strikeout. I'm sure he got a lot of ribbing from his team on that one. The prize for that one, Christian Pache rookie card from the Braves. I did not have a Braves team pack of Gold Star, so I threw in a Phillies team pack, Phillies Gold Star team pack from last year. And, well, actually, this is from 2021, 70th anniversary. It's 2021 Phillies Gold Star team bag because Christian Pache now plays on the Phillies. But again, this is the second round team that the Phillies took out of the playoffs. So again, as before, we will shuffle once and spin. Again, you must hit 3 times. So good luck to everybody on this one. So on Wednesday, I'm showing off another great group of things, and I'm going to show off some pictures of something. I actually took my annual trip to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm over 50 these days, and I told my wife several years ago, I said, hey, now that I'm past 50, once a year I'm going to the Hall of Fame, just for the day. I mean, it's from my house, the Hall of Fame is about a 3.5 hour drive, which, you know, in my way of thinking is not too much of a big deal. If you're going to go see the frickin' Baseball Hall of Fame, I could drive 3.5 hours one way. So I try to do it where we go together and just spend the weekend up there at a hotel or whatever. She likes to look at the leaves because we usually go in the fall. She'll like to look at the leaves, and we hit a couple other things other than baseball related places. I don't drag her there. Usually she stays at the hotel in the morning. I go out to the Hall of Fame in the morning, and then we spend the rest of the afternoon and evening doing fun couple stuff. But this year she had a friend, an old friend of hers had come in for the weekend, so I actually took, oh wow, 1, 2, 3, Card Hobbyist. A quick win for you, sir. So congrats to you. You'll get the Christian Pache rookie card and the Phillies team bag. So I'll finish my Hall of Fame story in a second because Friday's not a big build up at all. Anyway, moving on to Friday. The last question on Friday, the question was the final question on the Mega Cards Collector Club newsletter. And that was, in the 1932 World Series, the famous event was Babe Ruth's called shot. And a lot of people said Babe Ruth was pointing. If you look at the video, there is a sketchy video that exists of the event. And you can see what he is actually doing is he is gesturing to the Cubs dugout. Well, why is he gesturing to the Cubs dugout? Well, it's in Wrigley Field. The Cubs and the Yankees they were on each other's back the whole time. Why? Because back in the day, still to this day, I don't know what the rules are to this day. Anyway, the players got to vote on how much money each person would get. So, for example, it's still to this day, when you win the World Series, there's a pot of money that is given to each team. Okay. Now, today's players don't give a damn about the money because it might be per person like 50 grand, which to us is a lot of money. I mean, we'd be swimming over that, but most players these days are having their $1 million contracts, so that they don't give a damn about the World Series money. They care about the World Series ring and the prestige. Back then, it mattered. It was a big chunk of change for the players. In fact, many players in the World Series, if they won the World Series, their World Series share was often more money than their annual salary was. So it meant something to go to the World Series and get a share. Well, back in the day, the players got to vote on what percentage to give to people. And sometimes if you had a player who came over in a late season trade, the team players would vote that guy would only get a half share. And it just so happened a member of the Yankees had come onto the team late in the season, and the Cubs players voted him only a half share. That's why the Cubs and the Yankees were so angry with each other. They were yelling back and forth. The Yankees were angry at the Cubs. Cubs were giving it back. And that's what Babe Ruth was yelling at when he was up to bat. All that jeering back and forth, Babe was participating in it, and he was gesturing to the Cubs. And he hit the home run. And if you watch the video of him rounding the bases, the whole time, as he's rounding the bases, he is mocking the Cubs, jeering at them, waving his arms, and all kinds of things, and just giving them what for. So the question was, who is the player who got traded late in the season that this erupted over? The answer is Mark Koenig. This is his 2014 Panini Golden Age card. Mark Koenig was a shortstop with the Yankees in their glory days of the 27 Yankees. So Mark Koenig is the individual who was the precipitous of that anger between the Yankees and the Cubs during the 32 World Series, and quote unquote responsible for Babe's called shot home run. Now, everybody up on the screen was kind enough to throw a guess on that one. So what do we got? I think it was Jeremy Michaels won on Monday, and I got to go back already to remind myself. Card Hobbyist got it on Wednesday. Here we are on Friday. The prize you were playing for, the Phillies are in the middle of taking down the Diamondbacks. By now, I had hoped they had done it, but they're up 3 games to 2, heading back to Philadelphia on Monday. We're expecting good things, but you never know in the sport of baseball. That's one of the things that makes it so great. But I have here 3 items from the Diamondbacks. So 2 rookie cards. This year's Tommy Henry, Diamondbacks rookie. Last year's Jake McCarthy, and a Gold Star parallel team set from last year's set. That is what you're playing for, the prizes. And again, we will shuffle once and spin. Good luck to everybody on this one. So yeah, I said I went to Cooperstown. Well, Wednesday, I'll be showing off all the stuff I got there. I always make it a point to go to Yastrzemski's. I believe that card store in Cooperstown is absolutely the best in the town. Don't know why anybody would go to any of the other places that do sell cards. Always go to the Hall of Fame gift shop and get a couple cool things there. I did that as well. I'll be showing that off on Friday. So, make it a point to stop there as well. One of the other things I do when I'm in Cooperstown, which I did, but I'm not going to show off because it gets too bulky, it gets in the way too much, is I go to the bookstore. There's a used bookstore down at the end of the road away from the Hall of Fame. Down towards the main lighted intersection in town, in the back there's a used bookstore that has, all over, just stacks and stacks of used books. And they have quite the baseball section you would imagine. And the reason I like to go there is I'm trying to collect a biography of every member of the Hall of Fame. And they have a lot of good choices. So anyway, that's on Wednesday, my Hall of Fame recap Friday. I had a lot of good success with my Forgotten Hall of Famer this past Friday, so I'm going to do another one. So if you like that, come back. I promise they won't all be executives because, again, most of the executives are going to be quote unquote forgotten Hall of Famers. Most people have no clue that executives are even in the Hall of Fame and they wouldn't know them if they did. But this one's going to be a player. So I can't do all executives. That's 3 for Tommy Markle. Congrats, Tommy. I think Tommy won last week, too. Tommy, you'll be getting these 3 great individual things. Congrats to you, sir. That's all I have for you today. Like I said, come back next week. Monday is twisted the camera. Sorry. Monday is the 2023 Topps Update Jumbo Box Rip. Wednesday, my trip to Cooperstown, and Friday, another forgotten Hall of Famer. So I hope to see you all again this coming week. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for everybody who participates in this. It's good to get, anybody who watches my video, let alone people who are willing to send out a guess and join my trivia contest. So I really do appreciate you all coming along. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. Come back again for more great videos next week. Thanks for watching, and take care.